Okay guys, for our first practical, you will need your A4 sheets of paper, a ballpoint pen and a selection of oil pastels that you wish to use in different colours. You can use a wide variety of colours. This is just to experiment, see which ones work the best from what our technique we're going to be using. You can take your first oil pastel, I'm going to take this yellow, and just do a rough square. And you're going to be continuing this style for the rest of your paper. In lots of different colours. You don't have to do it in a set order, any colour, anything you would like to do, just go for it. These squares do not have to be neat or tidy, they're just rough little squares. I'm going to do 3 across here, you can do 4 because your paper is a little bit bigger than mine. I'm moving on to my next ones. And again, you can see how I'm just roughly doing these squares. They don't have to be immaculate, they're just there. And you'll find that if you press harder, it becomes a lot more messier. You want to try avoid doing that, but don't go really light because it's just not going to cover it. So just make sure that you're just applying your oil pastels with enough pressure that it's not making a mess, but you are actually getting the application of the oil pastel. There we go. I'm just going to quickly go through these, making sure that you cover your square and you don't have any gaps. There we go. On to my last one. There we go. And you see I've used different kind of tones, light colours, darker colours. I've kept to warm and cool tones, complementary and opposites and tertiary. All that we learn within our colour theory lessons. There we go, we've got our squares. That only took me like 2 minutes and it's not too much of a hassle. Once you've done all your little squares, you can take a piece of paper and another A4 piece of paper underneath. You're going to take this, flip it over to face down. So again, we are taking our squares and we're facing them down onto our new piece of paper, and then taking a piece of tape and taping it to our table so they do not move. You can flip it over, but they are not moving. They're not wobbling. You're going to take your ballpoint pen and using our mark making techniques that we've learned in our previous lesson, if anyone can remember them, we're going to draw over these squares. With these colours, you can clearly see them through the back of your paper, so it's going to make it a lot easier to not miss your squares. So again, for our first one, I'm going to keep to hatching. And going over my square, showing how I can shade using hatching. And when you lift up your paper, you can see there, just barely, it is transferred through. I'll do another one on a darker colour for you. Do some cross hatching. Again, from darker to lighter, using our mark making. Like so. And you can see there, it is fully transferred over, like when we did with our pencil drawings. And I want you all, for each of your squares, to do another kind of mark making. So I'm going to do my scribbling. And seeing how the colours transfer over, whether they've done well, how they haven't. See which ones work, which ones don't. So like this so far, I can see that light pink there, this one, has not transferred over really well. But these reds, they've done really, really well. So I've found so far that my darker colours are doing really, really well. My lighter colours are really struggling to show through. Like so. And some stippling. Just going to do a quick one. I'm not going to do the full square with stippling. But again, using those techniques that we've learned to see which transfers the best. Let's have a little look. Again, with that lighter blue here, you can hardly see it. But this darker blue is transferred really, really well. Same with this orange here. Do for my pink. What we're going to do some little squares. And again, experimenting with different kinds of techniques. See what you can do and see what passes through. Change my direction. And see that's transferred over. I would like you to do that for all of your squares until you have all of them, and we can reflect upon which colours do the best and which mark making works the best for oil pastels.